Hello, this is Taha.
This is Anaina,
This is Movie Masala.
and we're here to yap at you about films we've watched recently. And today we're doing I'm Still Here, directed by Walter Salles.
Tá olhando o quê? O que vocês querem? Cadê meu marido? Vai embora! Sai daqui, vai embora! Sai!
Okay, so to go over the plot, I'm Still Here is based off of a true story of a family in 1970 Brazil. So the dad, Rubens Paiva, who used to be a former congressman, is forcefully disappeared by the military dictatorship in Brazil, after like coup d'etat, etc., etc., etc. And basically, it's a historically known fact that forced disappearances were really, really common during this period of, Brazilian dictatorship as a way of kind of quelling political dissidents or, any resistance liberationist movements. But the plot, basically, you start off by, watching the family. They live a calm, idyllic life on a gorgeous house by the beach in Rio de Janeiro. And, the dad is happy, fun. You can tell he's like an engineer of sorts, but that he's also doing something on the side and you don't exactly know what. And the mom, who the story is based after, Eunice Paiva, played by Fernanda Torres, is kind of, a family lady dealing with her 5 children, 4 girls and a boy, and, dealing with their daughters, like 2 eldest daughters, I assume, becoming more politically involved. And it's not just the mom. I mean, the entire family is learning how to live within a dictatorship and, having young people around our age get politically involved and stuff. And then he disappears, or he's made to disappear. And then you go through like this grueling scenes and, section of the mother being detained. So Eunice being detained and questioned repeatedly day after day after day for more than like 12, 15 days without knowing where she is, without being allowed to change her clothes, without cleaning herself, anything. And we are meant to know or meant to believe that the dad, also Rubens, is in the same, detention center.
Yeah.
We don't know that, right?
So, and neither does Eunice, I'm assuming.
At first, yeah, eventually she finds out. Yeah, but so after the disappearance of Rubens, then it becomes about Eunice's desperation to find him and like find out what happens to him. And I mean, this is not a spoiler alert. This happened like 50, 60 years ago. But he dies or is killed, basically. And they can't even get a death certificate because the dictatorship like rejects ever having arrested him.
Yeah, because death certificate would acknowledge that they did something.
Exactly. So let alone a death certificate, there is even no acknowledgement of his arrest initially. And because he's a former congressman, this is all over the news. And so the family has to kind of deal with all of that. And Eunice is trying to protect her children, basically. The youngest of whom I assume is maybe like not even 10, the boy. And so she moves them out of their house in Rio. And she goes back to university, teaches herself like law, and became like one of the only people who fought for indigenous rights in Brazil. And basically that's the premise. And it's a great film that, speaks a lot to how dictatorships worked and how, politics was so fraught and complicated, and how, complete families were just ruined because they had no idea where, their family members went.
Yeah, 100%.
And nobody acknowledges it. And it's very interesting because, and the film shows this, only up until like maybe 20 years ago did the Paiva family get Rubens' death certificate.
Oh.
So about how there's such a long lasting impact that has. And it's going on right now. The film was like, there was a campaign to boycott the film by far right Brazilian groups who reject that there was ever a dictatorship now. So like it's recent and it's in the recent memory. And like Eunice is asked at one point in the film is like, doesn't the government have better things to do right now than to right the wrongs of the past? And she goes, no. She's a badass.
Just like
And I
oh,
mean, fair enough. It's an important past. You can't just completely reject or forget a past and not right its wrongs. And I think
yeah,
what Walter Salles does very well. He's also the guy who directed, for context, the Motorcycle Diaries, like the Che Guevara kind of biography and stuff. So what he does very well is capture the lives of people. He does like this big scoping life of Eunice Paiva, starting from just before the moment her entire life changed to the moment after all the wrongs got righted, up until the moment that, it keeps coming back to her and when she's very, very old. So he does this, grand scaling of a life. And I do think it's like a love letter to the Paiva family, as well as, to the families of all those people who were forcibly disappeared.
yeah.
So I appreciate the premise, and the score and like music is fabulous. I mean, one of the running themes is that the family connects and bonds over like records.
Oh,
And the eldest daughter is sent away to London at some point, and she having the time of her life in London with like so many record stores, etc., etc. So the music is gorgeous. The cinematography, it's shot on film and it's so pretty and like nostalgic.
yeah.
I think it fails to land a punch.
Ooh, elaborate. Because everything you've told me right now, A feels very impactful and very like heavy, basically, for lack of a better word. Also,
Yeah.
it makes me understand, not to go on a tangent right now, but it makes me understand why Fernanda Torres is still kind of a dark horse shot for Best Actress, or especially why she won Golden Globe, but it's still a dark horse shot for like the Oscars Best Actress. So yeah,
Yeah.
why does it feel to land upon?
Because I think, and this is a directorial Walter Salles issue, the emotional investment is coming from solely the acting.
Oh, okay.
And that's not enough, I feel, to carry. Like, I'm obviously empathetic. I'm obviously emotionally attached to the story,
Yes.
but none of Salles' writing or none of Salles' adapt. So again, this is an adapted screenplay from the youngest of the Paiva family, Marcelo Paiva, who is the boy. Is adapted from his book, and I haven't read his book, which I'm sure must be great in its own right. I think the adaptation, this particular adaptation, and Salles' direction, it still feels very narrative rather
Okay.
than emotional, and I prefer an emotional film.
But it just doesn't translate as well as it should.
Exactly. It's such an important story. And it's acted so beautifully and shot really well. It's it's the framing of it, I think, that is missing something.
Would it be correct to maybe phrase it in a way where it feels the film sometimes feels too objective in its narration of the film? Like it's not involved enough about the story
Exactly.
itself. Like it's telling this emotional story, but it doesn't care as much about the story as
Exactly.
the people in
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the people who are in charge of making it are as invested in the story.
Mm.
Again, not the acting. The acting is absolutely brilliant. Fernanda Torres is brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And so is Selton Mello, who plays Rubens Paiva. And the children, all 5 children, are played brilliantly, down to the youngest.
Good child acting. Nice.
Yeah, and so the acting is really, really good. I think the acting really holds it together and pulls all the emotional punches of the film. But I do think Salles could have been way more invested.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely think it's something everyone should watch because it's an important part of history and it's told in a very easy manner. Like it's very easy to follow, very easy to watch. I mean, obviously not in terms of the content, but in terms of the way, the film moves and progresses. I think it's an important part of history that, in general, I think South America gets forgotten so much in like
Yeah.
popular context and like narratives, that you forget how recent all of these histories are. Like
Yeah,
Chile
100%.
and Brazil and Nicaragua and stuff like that. So yeah, for sure, would definitely recommend to go watch. Again, my like the lack of it falling heavy on me at the end is personal reading. But yeah,
Quick question. I know you haven't watched The Substance,
Yeah.
but who would you rather pick as the winner between Mikey Madison and Fernanda Torres?
in terms of acting,
Yes.
I think Fernanda Torres, just because of the maturity of her voice,
Okay.
and by voice I don't mean literal voice, but I mean,
Acting voice kind of.
embodying that character, because
Yeah.
obviously this is a really tricky character to embody. Not saying Honora isn't. Honora is a different character with its different difficulties in its own sense, but I think like still playing a real person who has been so often neglected by history requires a lot of like respect and
Discipline
self
kind of too.
discipline and self-assurance, which I think Fernanda Torres just absolutely has.
Fair enough. Also nominated for Best International Film, which it probably will win considering Emilia Perez nobody cares about anymore, validly so. But and also Best Picture nominee as well, which is good. So yeah, that was it. Those were our thoughts. Thank you for tuning in. This podcast is produced solely by us with musical assets from Pixabay. See you again next time.
Bye bye.